Yeah, right. Hello. Again, this is a serious video, and it involves Alejandra Ayala, Hannah Rankin's opponent, who was put in a coma, had 2 surgeries, who had a brain anomaly 4 years ago, recognized by the British Boxing Board of Control, and they let her come back and fight for world title, even though she had never beat anyone in world contention, even though, the depth of female boxing is so weak. But she had lost every single round to anyone who fought in world class, right? She hadn't beaten anyone who had a winning record, except for one woman who beat 2 debutants and has a 4-2 record now. So, you can go look back at my videos and find out more detail about this. What we've got, and the reality is, we've got a woman who's come over to fight for a world title, even though she had no business in there. She's out of shape. She'd never beaten a world-class opponent. She'd had a brain anomaly, which the board knew about. She's still allowed to fight. She was put in a coma, had 2 surgeries, right? And apparently she's awake now. Now they've forgotten about her. I just looked on search engines if I could find any latest news. Nothing. Tumbleweed. Nothing on this poor woman. Right? Alejandra Ayala. That's her name, right? So the Boxing News, right, which is allegedly the premier publication about boxing in the world, the longest one, it's run by some weirdo called Christie, who's creepy. Yeah. The second guy in command is a guy called Dennen. All he writes about is women's boxing. He gives me the creeps. And also Steve Bunce is involved, who writes a column there every week. Now, they've not mentioned, since the fight, anything about this woman. They're happy to talk about women's boxing all the time. Yeah? I told you, about 3 issues back, 40 pages, and that includes adverts, by the way. 10 of them, right? 10 of them, so that's 25%, were devoted to women's boxing. Yeah? The only mention of Ayala is that, unfortunately, she was beaten by Hannah Rankin. Unfortunately, she had to go in a coma. We wish her the best, right? And the next issue was just saying, fights you want to see. We want to see Hannah Rankin versus Natasha Jonas. No mention of this poor woman, right? So I looked in the latest boxing news. It just got released. I searched it because I got the electronic version, the digital version, so you can search by name. I searched for Alejandra Ayala, I searched for Ayala, I searched for Rankin, I searched for Hannah Rankin. Nothing, zero, nothing. Yeah? Now, funnily enough, for once, there wasn't much about women's boxing in the issue. Yeah? Maybe they've been listening to the Triple B's videos. They realise that it's uncommercial to have endless rubbish about women's boxing no one cares about. But this we do care about. We've had a woman in an alleged world title fight that shouldn't even have been there, that was out of shape, that had a brain anomaly, being beaten in unconsciousness. And we had no update from Boxing News, the alleged premier boxing publication in the world. I'm talking to you, Christie and John Dennen, you weirdos. Why are you not mentioning it? I know why. That's not a rhetorical question. It's because part of the agenda. You're not independent. You have to push women's boxing about how great it is. Yeah? You don't push the other side. It don't fit your narrative that a poor woman, is in this position, right? And when I checked on my I checked on the search engine to find out what's been happening recently, the only article written in the last 9 days was by a guy called Eric Ahmet. Eric Ahmet is on the Commonwealth Boxing Council. Yeah, he's been involved in boxing for years. He's written for boxing news for years, right? I'm talking like 40 years. This guy's experience, right? This is what you got to say. Yesterday, right? He writes a big article about the fight. He says it was a fiercely competitive but not overly punishing fight. Really? Did he watch it? Yeah. Actually, they've taken all the footage off except a bit of footage that I managed to pull of Twitter about the end. Yeah? And people talking about the fight said she was exhausted from early rounds. She was completely outclassed. But according to this Eric Armpit, oh no, it's fine. It's fiercely competitive. It was not competitive. The scorecards, every single round went to ranking. How can you stop lying, man? Yeah, it was not a punishing fight except the 10th when the referee made a timely stoppage. This is Eric Armpit. Even though plenty of people writing about the fight, and if you watch the fight, said she was exhausted, she shouldn't have been let out for the last round. Yeah, watch her being stopped. How exhausted this poor woman is. Yeah. And this Armpit goes on. So Ayala had a bit of distress. She, with admirable speed, she was already being fitted with oxygen mask. So she's basically bigging up the British boxing model control, going, oh, well done, you got the oxygen mask on, right? But this is the main point of the article. He doesn't go on about her health. He doesn't go on about the fact that she had a brain anomaly. He doesn't go on about the fact that she shouldn't even have been in there. What does Eric Armpit say? Yeah, he goes, it's disgusting. This is a direct quote. It was a WBA and IBO title fight in Britain. I was astounded and angered to read that at a press conference, WBC President Mauricio Solomon, which by the way is not to be trusted, announced WBC would carry out a formal investigation into what happened to Alejandra Ayala. Yeah? So what did he say? The whole incident had nothing whatsoever to do with the WBC. So his main gripe, can you imagine this? This guy is a sick guy. His main gripe is that, the WBC had nothing to do with the event, so why are they talking about it? Not, hang on, this woman's been almost killed, had to go 2 surgeries, and we don't know what position she's in. She's surely permanently damaged. Yeah? Oh, and forget the fact that she had a brain anomaly 4 years ago in the British Boxing Board of Control, and she wasn't subject to any further tests. No. The real problem is, and this is a quote again, the WBC have no jurisdiction in Britain other than a WBC fight. Yeah? So his entire article, which is available on ringnews24.com, you can see that, was that, WBC should not be commentating on a boxing fight where a woman almost got killed. Yeah? He doesn't question the British Boxing Board of Control. Right? He doesn't question system. Yeah, I'm sorry about my dog, man. He's full of life, right? No, the problem is that the WBC made a statement about it because they should have nothing to do with it, even though they're a world boxing body. They didn't sanction it, so what? They should have nothing to do with it and make no comment. This is Eric Armpit's argument. Yeah? And listen to me, Matt, Christie and John Dennen, you weirdos. And John Dennen, right? Matt Christie and Steve Bunce with the biros. We know what he thinks about women. He bends them over and sticks biros in the batty holes in Uganda and takes pictures of it. Yeah, look at the pictures of these 3. They look like what's it called? Like they look like the entry pictures into the nonce wing. Yeah, of a serious prison. These guys, man. How can they justify their position? Yeah? By not even mentioning anything to do with this poor woman who was almost killed and shouldn't never have been in there. Yeah? So, Eric Armpit's last paragraph is concern is understandable, admirable. He's patronising, right? He's patronising as a care. But there's a right way and a wrong way. And even by suggesting an investigation, he's giving birth to the idea he does not trust those who actually had responsibility of care for Alejandra Ayala before, during, and after the fight to do the job properly. Disgraceful and insulting to the British Boxing Board of Control and to the promoter. Are you high, man, Eric Armpit? You actually... protecting you don't care about this woman. You're just saying, no one should be blaming the British Boxing Board of Control. How disgusting it is. Disgraceful. These are his words, disgraceful. You are blaming the Boxing Board of Control. even though this woman had no business being there. Yeah? She was clearly out of shape. And more importantly, she had a brain anomaly. And this guy's defending the British Boxing Monopoly Law. This shows you how crooked the entire system is. I hope the British Boxing Board of Control get taken to task. A private company, a limited company. Go and look at Companies House. See the million they have of cash in the bank. Yeah, they are unregulated. They come as a regulatory body. They are unelected. They're a private company. Yeah. So I can set up a British Boxing Board tomorrow. I'll have as much legitimacy as them. And this sick idiot, Eric Armpit, Matt Christie, John Dennen, Steve Bunce haven't uttered anything except for Eric Armpit to actually chastise an organisation which admittedly is dodgy, I know that, but chastising an organisation for showing concern for a woman and showing concern for the regulatory body that they had made sure she should be able to fight despite brain anomaly. This is a sickness in boxing.